Right, Shalom, brothers and sisters.
Shalom, shalom.
Good Sabbath to all. Okay, let's jump right into it. Today's topic, let's try to make it the glory of the Most High, or the Most High's covenant with Israel. Con?
Con.
Either one of those. Let's go with the glory of the Most High. Now, let's get some background on the glory of the Most High. Now, remember when Israel was in captivity in Egypt. The Most High brought us out of Egypt. He took us through the wilderness, right? Then we arrived at Mount Sinai, and the Most High made a covenant with Israel. The Most High said, I want to be your God and I want you to be my people. So the Most High made a covenant with Israel. Let's go to Exodus. Let's read about that. Let's go to Exodus 19th chapter, verse 3 to verse 9. Okay, go ahead.
Exodus chapter 19, verse 3. And Moses went up unto the Most High, and the Most High called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself.
So the Most High said, look, tell Israel this. The Most High wanted Israel to know this, because he's getting ready to say, look, I'm going to make an agreement with you, a covenant. I'm going to be your God. I want you to be my people. Now, this is what I did for you when you was in captivity under the Egyptians. I'm going to show you how powerful I am. Right. Read on.
Verse 5. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine.
See? Now, in order for this agreement, this covenant to be valid, Israel, they had to hear the Most High's voice, and they had to what? Keep the covenant, right? In order for this agreement or this covenant to be valid. But Israel didn't keep it. All the way down to the Babylonian captivity in 586 BC. We came out of that. We broke the covenant. And we kept breaking the covenant. Even up until this very day. That's why we're in the condition now. See, because the Most High said, look, I want to dwell amongst you now. Look, I want to be your God. I want you to be my people. But now, I want to dwell among my people. I mean, that's the Most High's plan from the very beginning. The Most High wanted to dwell amongst his people. See, but the Most High's glory cannot be amongst sin. It can't be amongst wicked people. And when we read on down, you're going to find out that the Most High's glory was amongst us. It was in the temple, and we kept acting the damn fool, kept sinning and being so wicked that the Most High's glory left us. Because it cannot mix with wicked people. It cannot be amongst sin. So his glory left, but it came back at one time. Then it left again. See, and it's going to come back in the last days, or rather when we in the kingdom. See, because look, we some hard people, man. I mean, we sweep this up on the rug, like we take it lightly. That we in the condition that we in because we some hard-headed, stiff-necked people, just like the scriptures say. I mean, the scriptures are not lie. I mean, you see you out there trying to teach the word to the people and how they, I mean, you catch more flack from your own people. And you catch more flack from people that know that they Israelites. You don't think they know or think they got everything. You catch more flack from them as well. So we are the people, brothers and sisters. We are the people that broke that covenant, that the glory of the Most High left us. Okay, now, where we at now?
Verse 6.
Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 19, verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words, which the Most High commanded him.
Come on.
And all the people answered together and said, all that the Most High has spoken, we will do.
You hear that? When the Most High gave Moses, the Most High laid it down to Moses. Go tell the people this. Moses went and he told the people said, okay, everything that God, the Most High told you, we would do. They agreed, right? Okay, they said we would do. So you go back and tell the mighty power, the mighty God, the Most High, that we will obey. He wants to be our God. We would love to be his people. Okay, we would love to follow the covenants, the commandments, and the laws. But when we finish this verse, we're going to read another one, and then I'm going to show you what happened. Continue to read.
Continuing in verse 8. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Most High.
Come on.
Verse 9. And the Most High said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people, unto the Most High.
Now let's go to Exodus 25 and 8. And we're going to read, since the people agreed with what Moses brought to them, the agreement that Moses brought to them from the Most High, the people said, look, we agree. And the Most High said, look, I want to dwell amongst my people, the people that I'm choosing to be my people, and I'm going to be their God. I want to dwell amongst them. So now the Most High is, look, build me a sanctuary now. Okay, that's what he said. Because I'm coming to dwell amongst them. Build me a sanctuary. Build me a house so I can kick it with my people, so I can dwell amongst my people. Exodus 25 and 8. Read that.
Exodus chapter 25, verse 8. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them.
See what the Most High said? Let them make me a sanctuary. Okay, these people agree to keep my covenant, the agreements, and the whole foundation that I laid down. If they agree to that, they're my people, and I'm going to be their God. Now, I want to dwell amongst them. I want a sanctuary built to me. And guess what happened? When we read on and read on and read on, and when we find out throughout the history, guess what happened? When Moses went up to get the covenants, right, to get the 10 commandments and the laws, when he came back down, guess what was going on? The golden calf. Aaron feared the people, and he made a god, a golden calf. Because he feared the people. The people was wondering where was Moses at. Oh, Moses had left us. Now let's take off our gold and so forth and make us a god, make us a golden calf. So the people set up this idol, and that made the Most High mad, and it made Moses mad too. So what Moses did, he came down so angry, he broke the commandments. Then he took it and threw it in water and mixed, and he made the Israelites drink it. Yeah, you knuckleheads, drink this. You don't want to listen to the Most High. You violated this agreement, this covenant. Drink this. And then Moses said, look, who all is with the Lord, the Most High, let them come over here. If you're not with this covenant of the Most High, you can stay over there. And the scripture tell you that Moses ordered the Levites. He said, the ones that's over there that didn't come on the righteous side, kill them. And when you read in Exodus 32, the Levites killed about 3,000 people, man. And when we go on in this class, we're going to read a lot about killing. You understand? Because death would get our people attention. We can be hard-headed and we can be stubborn, but when death steps up, okay, Khan. I understand. Ken, you know, Khan. You understand then? Okay. Whenever you can be the hardest, whatever, but whenever death approach, you know, you're just as humble as anything. Yes. All right, bro. No, bro. I was just playing. I didn't mean that, bro.
There's a saying. There's a saying. Niggas respect violence.
And bloodshed. That's why you got to pull the gun out. Talking and talking. Once you pull that out, silence. Everybody's obeying. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I think, you know, but all along before the peace came out, everybody was involved cheering it on. But now that comes out, everybody, I don't know what's happening. So Moses ordered the Levites to go and kill 3,000 people in Exodus, the 32nd chapter. Now, the covenant was renewed. You understand? Now, let's go to Exodus the 40th. We finished this, or did you ever read that?
I read on 25 verse 8.
You finished 8. Let's go to Exodus 40th chapter, and we're going to read the 34th to the 38th verse.
Exodus chapter 40, verse 34.
Come on.
Then a cloud covered the tent of the congregation, and the glory of the Most High filled the tabernacle. And Moses was not able to enter into the tent of the congregation, because the cloud abode thereon, and the glory of the Most High filled the tabernacle.
See the glory of the Most High. He renewed the covenant. Now the glory of the Most High is amongst the people, in his dwelling place. That's all the Most High is wanting. You obey my covenant, my laws, commandments. You be my people, I will be your God, and I want to be among you. That's all the Most High asks for. But we broke that. We violated. We terminated the agreement by being stiff-necked and hard-headed. Come on.
Verse 36. And when the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the children of Israel went onward in all their journeys. But if the cloud were not taken up, then they journeyed not till the day that it was taken up.
Okay, go ahead.
For the cloud of the Most High was upon the tabernacle by day, and fire was on it by night, and in the sight of all the house of Israel throughout all their journeys.
Ain't something in the sight of all. The Most High was our God, man. Leading us by his power and glory. You got it? Okay, let's go from there. Let's go to 1 Kings, the 8th chapter, 10 to the 14th verse. 1 Kings, the 8th chapter, from the 10 to the 14th verse. Now, from here, from the Israelites' dwellings, the Most High was their glory. Now, the Most High wanted what? He wanted a permanent structure now. He said, look, I want a permanent structure to be amongst my people. And that permanent structure became what? Solomon's temple. But it really wasn't Solomon's temple. It was who? The Most High's temple. See, we call it Solomon's temple, but it's the Most High's temple, because the Most High's glory dwelt in that temple. But when we messed up, the Most High glory left that temple, and that temple was destroyed in 586 BC when the Babylonians came through the city, killed old, young, women, children, pregnant women, blind, crippled. They didn't care, because it was orders from the Most High. Now, if you say Satan did it, well, Satan got his orders from the Most High. That's the work of the devil. No, it's the work of the Most High. Can't get around that. Okay, let's go to 1 Kings, the 8th chapter, the 10 to the 14th verse.
1 Kings chapter 8, verse 10. And it came to pass, when the priests were come out of the holy place, that the cloud filled the house of the Most High.
See, the glory's back. Go ahead.
So that the priests could not stand to minister because of the cloud. For the glory of the Most High had filled the house of the Most High.
Go. Come on.
Then spake Solomon, the Most High said that he would dwell in the thick darkness. I have surely built thee an house to dwell in. I settled a settled place for thee to abide in forever.
Right.
And the king turned his face about and blessed all the congregation of Israel. And all the congregation of Israel stood.
So the Most High wanted to dwell amongst us forever. But we messed up. It's not the Most High's fault. We effed it up. We messed up, man. You got me? And still messing up. Still, I mean, the love that the Most High got for us, man, you can't compare it. I mean, you can't even comprehend the level of that love. See, we talk about, hey, baby, I love you. I mean, that's just that emotional type stuff right there. But the level of love that the Most High have for us, we can't comprehend it. We can't even understand it, man. Okay, now, let's go from there. We go into 2 Chronicles, but before we go there, the Most High glory enters into the temple, the first temple, right? But what happened after that now? Israel started messing up again. They was messing up inside the temple.
Oh, yeah.
Hanging up idols on the walls, worshiping the sun, got their backs to the Most High and so forth. Messing up inside the temple where the glory of the Most High dwelt. Messing up inside of the Most High's house. So therefore, the Most High brought the army of the Babylonians on Israel. Because the Most High don't have to come down and say, hey, I'm going to deal with you. No, the Most High going to use people. Let's go to 2 Chronicles 36, 14 to 16.
Chronicles 36.
2 Chronicles, the 36th chapter, 14 to the 16th verse.
2 Chronicles chapter 36, verse 14.
Right, go ahead.
Moreover, all the chief of the priests and the people transgressed very much after all the abominations of the heathen, and polluted the house of the Most High, which he had hallowed in Jerusalem.
What did that say? Moreover, all the who?
All the chief of the priests and the people.
The leaders. It said all the chief of the priests, the leaders, and what? The people. The people was following the priests. The people is going to follow the leaders. And it said what? They transgressed very much after what? All what?
All the abominations of the heathen.
Keep that word in mind. Abominations. Because that's why the Most High got at us. Because of abominations. And one of the main abomination was we was breaking the Shabbat. We was breaking the Sabbath. Worshiping other gods, and we was violation of the Sabbaths. The Most High didn't like that. See, because that's the Most High's signet, his Sabbath. That's his bond with us and he and him. You got me? Okay, go ahead and read.
Verse 15. And the Most High power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes,
Right.
and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place.
See, after all that Israel did, the scripture say he still had compassion on his people and his dwelling place. See, go ahead and read.
Verse 16. But they mocked the messengers of the Most High.
Are they still doing that today? Yes, sir. Yes. So you know it's us. Because we quick to mock something, you know, when we speak about God. That God said, where you quoting that from? Is that the Bible? Who wrote that? You know, it's been tampered with. How many times has it been translated? All the excuses in the world. Go ahead and read.
But they mocked the messengers of the Most High, and despised his words, and misused his prophets.
Misused his prophets, and they mocked the messengers of the Most High, and despised his words. Go ahead.
And misused his prophets, until the wrath of the Most High rose against his people, till there was no remedy.
No remedy. They couldn't fix this thing, man. They couldn't fix this. Now, let's go to Ezekiel, the 16th chapter. Ezekiel, the 16th chapter. And we're going to read the 15th and the 16th verse, and we're going to chop it up a little bit. Ezekiel, the 16th chapter, let's go to the 15th and 16th verse.
Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 15.
We're going to bounce around a little bit now. Write these scriptures down. Go ahead.
But thou didst trust in thine own beauty, and playedest the harlot because of thy renown.
Yeah, the Most High said, we did trust in our own beauty, and because we was renowned, known, famous for certain things, it said what? We played the hoe. That's how to see it got so bad that the Most High began to call us hoes, hollers, whores, the whole nation. And that's God speaking there. God proclaimed us as hoes, whores. You understand? The power that created us, the way we conducting ourselves. He said, y'all are acting just like whores. Go ahead.
And pourest out thy fornications on everyone that passed by, as it was.
By his it was. Go ahead.
By his it was, lucky. And if thy garments thou didst take, and deckest thy high places with diverse colors, and platest the harlot thereupon.
There you go again, playing the whore. Read on.
The like thing shall not come, neither shall it be so.
Read the 22nd verse.
Jump to the 22nd?
Yeah.
Verse 22. And in all thine abominations.
That word again, abominations. Go ahead. In all thine abominations. Read on.
And thy whoredoms.
In all thy whoredoms. Go ahead.
Thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth.
Y'all, Israel had not remembered the days, the beginning. Read on.
When thou wast naked and bare, and was polluted in thy blood.
When Israel was just beginning to be born. See, we didn't remember those days. See, we was born, the Most High said, you my people, and I'm your God. Then we went too far with it. Worshiping other gods, breaking the Sabbath, breaking the laws, disrespecting the prophets and disrespecting the Most High. We went too far with that until the Most High had to destroy Jerusalem, and he had to destroy the temple. Okay? Read the 30th verse.
Verse 30. How weak is thine heart, saith the Most High power, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of an imperious, whorish woman.
An imperious, whorish woman, an arrogant, whorish woman. And he's calling the nation that. Ain't that something? This is coming from God, man. I mean, it's coming from the book. Y'all looking at me like, like you hear that from somebody that's in the streets. Oh, you old imperious hoe, No, that's the Most High. It's telling us that's who we are. You understand? So, I mean, it's in the book. Ezekiel the 16th chapter in that 30th verse. Okay, so now let's jump up a little bit. Read the 16 and 2, the second verse. Keep that word in mind, abominations.
32 is good too.
16 and 2.
I was saying verse 32 in that chapter.
All of it is good. You can read that on your own. All that is good about us. Read that second verse.
Ezekiel chapter 16 verse 2. Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations.
There go that word again, abominations. See, now we're going to get scriptures where the Most High was showing Ezekiel what was going on inside the temple. See, because you had the leadership thought they was doing things in secret, but the Most High and the angels see and saw what was going on. So the Most High had showed Ezekiel the vision of what was going down, and he showed Ezekiel that the Babylonians is going to come and attack that city too. First, it was shown in the spirit realm, and then in the physical, it was played out. You got me? So let's go to Ezekiel the first chapter now. We're going to jump a little bit. Ezekiel the first chapter. And read 1 to 7.
Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 1.
Sorry, 4 to 7.
Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 4.
Come on.
And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. So
what's going on now is the Most High is coming to bring judgment to Jerusalem and the Israelites. So the Most High is coming to see, look, let me go and see what's going on right here. And the Most High is bringing judgment to the land. Go ahead and read.
Verse 5. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living
And he
creatures.
got them angels with him. Go ahead.
And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. And every one had 4 faces, and every one had 4 wings. Their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. And they sparkled like the color of varnished
Now
brass.
jump to the 14th verse.
Verse 14.
Check this out. Now remember, the Most High is coming to bring judgment, to establish judgment and destruction to Jerusalem and to his people. Read the 14th verse. Check this out.
Verse 14. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning.
Flash of lightning, man. Ain't that something? That's how that judgment went down. Because it tell you that Nebuchadnezzar, it tell you that he came like an eagle. He was so swift. His horses were swift. He came through that city, man, and ripped it up. And there wasn't a prayer that we could have got together and prayed to even stop that destruction, because it was already set forth. We had made the Most High and went against the Most High so many times that we couldn't even stop that, man. But the Most High did. Now, when he was showing Ezekiel what was getting ready to go down, Ezekiel cried out, Lord, you gonna destroy all the remnant? So the Most High is like, okay, I'm gonna do a little separation here. The righteous is not gonna be touched. The wicked, they're gonna be utterly tore up, destroyed. We're gonna read about that. Let's go from there. Let's go to Ezekiel 8, 16, 18.
Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 16. And he brought me into the inner court of the Most High.
Go ahead. That's the Spirit bringing Ezekiel into the inner court. Now remember, I said it's shown in the spirit realm first. Then it was activated, processed, and carried out in the physical. Okay, because in 586 BC, Nebuchadnezzar, they took the temple, took the relics of the temple, and Ezekiel went with that captivity. You know, it was different time periods of different captivities that the nobles was taken, Daniel was taken, Ezekiel was taken, Jeremiah, they kind of let Jeremiah dwell on his own, because they understood, okay, this is a prophet of the Most High. But the Most High had it where Ezekiel and Daniel went down into the captivity along with the people. You understand? They didn't go against the Most High, but you had to have some of the righteous there to teach the people, to tell them where they was wrong at. Okay, this is why we're here, and that's what you got today. You got brothers that's all over the earth now. They're in the streets teaching, telling the people, this is why we're here. This is why we fail. This is why the Most High brought judgment, because we broke the laws of the Most High. Same thing. You got the prophets and teachers is in captivity along with the people. See? Continue to read.
Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 16.
Come on.
And he brought me into the inner court of the Most High's house. And behold, at the door of the temple of the Most High, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men, and their backs toward the temple of the Most High, and their faces towards the east. And they worshiped the sun toward the east.
It said what their backs is toward what of the Most High? The Holy of Holies. Their backs is toward the Holy of Holies. 25 men, but they are worshiping the sun, the creation of the Most High. See, 25 ancient leaders in the house of the Most High. So you think the glory of the Most High is going to remain there? No, it's not. And when you see like pictures of the apostles and disciples and Yahushua and Mary with the what they call a halo over their head, that's sun god worship right there. Okay, a representation of the sun god. It's not the halo or the oral. That's a representation of the sun god. See, and our people was doing that back then. That's why the Most High got mad and took us out, man, in his temple. And he've already made a covenant, an agreement with us, and Israel came back and said, "Hey, everything you ask, we will do." But they broke that. Worshiped the golden calf. The Most High renewed it. Right? They breaking it again. So now the 30 and 31st verse. And remember, when you read the prophet of Jeremiah, Jeremiah was prophesying that Jerusalem was going to fall, that Babylon would come in and take Jerusalem and destroy the temple. But you had like false prophets, Israelites that was back then was trying to counter what Jeremiah was putting out. They was trying to counter Jeremiah's vibration that, oh no, this is God's temple. This is Yahweh's temple. It ain't gonna be destroyed. No, Yahweh's our God. This temple ain't going nowhere. It's not gonna be destroyed. What are you talking about? So you had false prophets that was countering what Jeremiah was prophesying. So it was a battle back then. It was a battle in Yahweh's time. It's a battle now. Because you got false prophets out there now. You got Israelite false prophets, brother. You know, don't think everybody that hold the book and say shalom or shalom to you, it's 100 right. It's always right. You got doctrines out there too, bro. All right. Where we at? Jeremiah 5?
Here you come. Jeremiah 5.
Read 30 and 31.
Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 30. A wonderful and a horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means.
By their means. Go ahead.
And my people love to have it so.
And that's one thing about our people, man. Anytime you come with self, you know, with your personal, I believe in such, that's what they like. Just like a lot of ministers does. Our people love to hear man's thing. They don't want to hear what the Most High got to say. They want to hear man's teachings, man's doctrine, what man think. You ever experience you out there in the streets teaching and people come by, you trying to read the script, they say, no, I want to hear what you think and how you think about it. Well, I ain't got no thoughts. My thoughts is right here in the book. Come on, read. Finish
and what will ye do in the end thereof?
What will ye do in the end? Let's go to Jeremiah 7 chapter, 17 and 18 verse.
Jeremiah chapter 7 verse 17. Seest thou not what they do in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem?
See, the Most High is telling Jeremiah, look, do you see what they do in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? Read on.
The children gather wood.
Or the children gather wood. Go ahead.
And the fires kindle the fire. And the women knead their dough.
Or the women, so that's their mothers. It's a family thing that's going on now. The fathers leading the families into what? Apostasy. You got that today too. Families is drawn into the left field because of what's being taught to them. The children, the mother, the fathers is in what? Apostasy. Apostasy against the Most High. Read on.
To make cakes to the king, to the queen of heaven.
Go ahead.
And to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger.
Right. So it's a family type apostasy going on too in our nation. You got families that's going this way into left field as well, into the negative. I'm saying Israelite families. When I'm speaking, I'm not just saying people out there in the world. See, we like to say those out there that's not in the truth. No, I'm speaking about the ones that's supposed to be in the truth. You understand? Yeah.
Is that the origin of the celebration of Easter?
Somewhat. Yeah, somewhat. Yeah. Let's go Ezekiel 9. Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. Let's start from 1 to 8.
Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 1.
Now, what the Most High just showed Ezekiel, now the Most High is bringing the judgment now. Okay, let's read about the judgment. Read on.
He cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to Cause them to have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand.
With his destroying weapon in his hand. Go ahead.
And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen, with a writer's inkhorn by his side. And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar.
Now these men were angels. They were angels. And it said every one had a destroying weapon in his hand. Now this is spiritual form first, spirit realm. Then the Babylonians is going to make it physical. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 3.
Because the Most High and the angels is going to be, in operation with who going to do what and how it's going to be done. Okay, come on.
Verse 3. And the glory of the Most High power of Israel was going up from the cherub, whereupon he was, to the threshold of the house. And he called to the men clothed in linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. Mm-hmm. And the Most High said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Now, right here, the Most High is separating the righteous from the wicked. Read that again.
And the Most High said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
For all the abominations. Remember that word, abominations. Okay, because there were men and people that was kind of speaking against the negative that was going on, like you got today. People speaking against and teaching against the negative that's going on in the world and that's going on in the Israelites congregation as well. Okay, read on.
Verse 5. And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
He said, and to the others, he said in my hearing, Go after them through the city, and smite. That means kill. And to kill, let not your eye spare, neither have pity. See, because when Nebuchadnezzar came through them gates, he didn't have no mercy, no pity, not on the old, blind, young, nothing. Pregnant women, because you can't carry out or act like that, man. If you got pity and mercy. I mean, you just got to have it in your heart, like you're a killer. I'm coming to destroy. I have no feelings whatsoever for what I'm about to do now to these people. Nothing whatsoever. It's not even a thought in their head. They were following orders to take Jerusalem and the people of the Most High out. And the Most High Spirit played a part in the minds of that army as well. Go ahead and read. Now you have questions, write them down and we'll deal with them at the end of the class, because I don't want to kind of go back and forth. I want to keep moving with this. Just write your questions down and at the end we'll deal with them.
Verse 6.
Or if you had an input, just write it down and we'll deal with it at the end. Go ahead.
Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women.
Well, now why is that there? I mean, this don't get read often. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. Go ahead.
But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary.
And the men, the women, children that have the mark, don't mess with them. And the scriptures say, begin at my sanctuary. Begin at who? The leaders. The leaders first. They the ones that's in the sanctuary. So you begin at them first. Because they are the one that putting that energy out. That you can do what you want to do. You take them out first. Then you go through the midst of the city. Then you get the old, young children and everything. And then you fulfill the mission that the Most High has sent you on. Go ahead.
Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
That's it. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain.
He said,
Go,
defile the house, the temple. Going to be destroyed. And fill the courts with the dead bodies. A mercy sacrifice, man. Go ahead.
go ye forth. And they went forth and slew in the city.
Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And it came to pass, while they were slaying them, and I was left, that I fell upon my face and cried, and said, Most High Yahweh, wilt thou destroy all the residue of Israel, and thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem?
So Ezekiel asked the question, will you destroy all Israel, the remnant? You pouring out your fury, will you take out all of them? No, the Most High made a separation. The righteous and the wicked. It's going to be a separation in this time as well. You hear brothers talk about the 1/3, 2/3, and so forth. See, the Most High don't need everybody. He don't need everybody. And that's why the scriptures say, make your election, make your calling sure. Make your foundation strong. And it also say, don't let another take your crown. And that's really going into the person that can take your crown is the watchman. Because when you read in I believe the Song of Solomon, the watchmen were the one that was on the gates, watching everything. Your watchmen is your teachers, your leaders. They can take your crown because they can teach you the wrong way, and then you follow that. That can get you killed. You understand? So they can take your crown, by teaching you false doctrines and everything, because they are the watchmen. Okay, let's go from there. We finished that, right?
Come.
Let's go to Ezekiel, the 10th chapter. We're going to read the 18th and the 19th verse.
Ezekiel chapter 10 verse 18. Then the glory of the Most High departed from off the threshold of the house.
Now, the Most High's glory is getting ready to leave the temple now. The Most High said, look, I'm done with it. My glory is not going to dwell amongst these people. I'm done with it. I'm going to let the Babylonians come through. They came through 586 BC, tore up the city, destroyed the temple, and took the Israelites into captivity. The Most High's glory wasn't there when all that was going on. The Most High done already showed us that he's not going to mix with sin. He's not going to mix with wickedness. So the Most High glory left and then brought the destruction. What, the Most High glory was there when the destruction came? No, the Most High glory left. Then Nebuchadnezzar came in and destroyed the temple and had the dead bodies laying all in the court. What you think, the Most High glory just there, want the sacrifice done to him or burn some incense to me? My glory is still here. The Most High was gone. His glory was gone because of our wickedness. Most High, he said, I can't be your God, you acting like that. It's like, you got a woman acting all negative and horrible. I can't be your husband, man. You got to clean up, get yourself together. And that's what the Most High called us. We act like a whorish woman, an imperious and arrogant hoe. Yeah. Okay. Let's go from there. Read the 19th.
And stood over the cherubims.
Right.
Verse 19. And the cherubims lifted up their wings and mounted up from the earth in my sight.
The chariots, the glory, it said the glory of the Most High departed from off the threshold of the house and stood over the cherubims. And the cherubims lifted up their wings and mounted from the earth. Go ahead.
When they went out, the wheels also were beside them.
The wheels left too. When you're wrong, man. The Most High gonna snatch everything. The Most High's spirit is gonna get up out of there when you ain't right. Why should he dwell there if you're not gonna do what he asked you to do? Why should he even dwell within us if we're not gonna obey him? You got a rebellious son in your house or a daughter. They don't want to follow your orders. Why keep them there? Okay, you old enough to get your own thing out. You old enough to do your own thing. Get on out. Go ahead.
And everyone stood at the door of the east gate of the Most High's house. And the glory of the Most High power of Israel was over them above.
Was above them. Okay. Now, the Most High's glory leaves the temple. Babylon comes to the temple and destroys the city in 586 BC. Now, if you notice, the Most High sent what? 3 punishments to the city. 3 punishments. Let's go to Jeremiah 32, 24, and 25. Jeremiah 32, 24, and 25.
Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 24. Behold the mounts, they are come unto the city to take it.
It's talking about who? The Babylonians. Come on.
And the city is given into the hand of the
Of
Chaldeans
the Chaldeans. Come on.
that fight against it, because of the sword, and of the famine, and of the pestilence.
Now the three punishment, they were what? The sword, famine,
And pestilence.
and the pestilence. Go ahead.
And what thou hast spoken is come to pass. And behold, thou seest it.
What the Most High spoke, it have came to pass. And Jeremiah, I see it. I see it. Go ahead.
And thou hast said unto me, O Lord Yahweh, by thee, by thee the field for money,
And take
and
witnesses
take witnesses,
for the city.
for the city is given into the hand of the Chaldeans.
No, the Most High don't want the city back. What are they going to do to get the city back? Most I don't want it back. They done already defiled it, so now I'm giving it to the hands of the enemies. I don't want it no more. Okay, and then what the people did to him, they had to pay for that. Okay, now from here, let's go to 2 Chronicles. 2 Chronicles 36, 17 to 21.
Second Chronicles chapter 36, verse 17.
Right.
Therefore he brought upon them the king of the Chaldees, who slew their young men with the sword in the house
Go
of
ahead.
their sanctuary, and had no compassion upon young men or maiden, old man, or him that stooped for age, for he gave them all into his hand.
You hear that? When Nebuchadnezzar came through the Chaldeans, the scriptures say he slew their young men with the sword in the house of their sanctuary and had no compassion. In order for you to do that, you have to have no compassion. No compassion. You know, when you're a killer, you got no compassion. When you hear somebody say, man, I'll come up in your house and kill everything in there. I'll kill everything. You got no compassion, man. They're killers. They seeing things a little bit different than you and I are. They are killers. No compassion, no mercy, don't have no feelings whatsoever. Look at the next, just like the hitmans. You got Jake or terrible hitmans. Yeah, so they put in their mind that when I go hit my target, it's nothing. It means nothing to me. Just like a cat or a roach or a rat. It's nothing to me. That's in their head, man. No compassion at all. Real killers. So when the Most High put the spirit on the Babylonians to go in and punish Israel, there was no compassion because they was under the righteous spirit or the righteous hypnosis of the Most High. Let me go in, boom, that was their job. You know what I'm saying? When King David went to war with the Philistines, and when Israel took the land of Canaan, people got killed. People had to die. Blood was spilled. But there was righteous though. When the Maccabees, righteous killing. You know it's heavy, but that's what the Most High ordained. You know, because a lot of them nations was wicked anyway. And Israel was destroyed. The Most High allowed the Babylonians to come against Israel because Israel was wicked. See, the Most High is not going to stand for BS or wickedness or sin. He's not going to stand for it. He would take you out, bring you back, take you out again. You understand? That's power. So in order to get in that mindset, you would have to actually kill and destroy with no compassion. You would have to think of the next person as nothing. Nothing. Not even human. Nothing. And it's easy to go ahead and get rid of them. You know, take them out. You know, go get me a slice of piece of beef burger, you know, first go get some French fries or whatever, you know, because it's nothing. Okay, and when the Most High put the spirit on armies to punish other nations and Israel, is nothing. No compassion, no mercy. Go get something to eat, steak dinner, go home and sleep well. They're probably the best sleep they ever get in their life. After they even took somebody out. I'll get to you later. Read on.
Verse 18. And all the vessels of the house of the Most High, great and small, and the treasures of the house of the Most High, and the treasures of the king and of his princes, all these he brought to Babylon.
And all this happened because of us, because of Israel's hard head and wickedness, stubbornness. We was arrogant against the power that created us. He had an agreement with us. We said everything that you do, everything that's in that agreement, we would do. That's what our father said. But as soon as they said it, they started breaking what they said, man. Breaking the agreement. All the way down to the second temple being destroyed in 70 AD. Ain't that something? Yeah. So when this is over, when we're in that kingdom, man, you know, the Most High, if we make it there, can't have all that nonsense no more. That's why the Most High said, purge out the rebels. Can't have that no more because you don't want to go backwards. You don't want to go back into that. Go ahead and read.
Verse 19. And they burnt the house of the Most High, and brake down the walls of Jerusalem, and burnt all the palaces thereof with fire, and destroyed all the goodly vessels thereof. And them that had escaped from the sword carried he away to Babylon, where they were servants to him and his sons until the reign of the kingdom of Persia.
Okay, read that 21st verse again.
Verse 21.
We didn't get there. Okay, read the 21st.
Verse 21. To fulfill the word of the Most High by the mouth of Jeremiah, until the land had enjoyed her Sabbath.
See, because we weren't keeping the Sabbath. So we were just abusing the land, man. Breaking the Sabbath, breaking laws. So while we in captivity, the land enjoyed its Shabbats. The land. Ain't that something? The Most High had to get us up out of there so the land can have peace. Read on.
For as long as she lay desolate, she kept Sabbath, to fulfill 70 years.
70 years. As long as she was desolate, she kept the Shabbat. But we wasn't keeping it. We're the people, but we wasn't keeping it. That's something. Let's go from there. Let's go to, let's jump to, read the 22nd and 23rd verse.
Verse 22. Now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that the word of the Most High spoken by the mouth of Jeremiah might be accomplished, the Most High stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and put it also in writing, saying, Thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia, all the kingdoms of the earth hath the Most High power of heaven given me, and he hath charged me to build him an house in Jerusalem, which is in Judah.
So the Most High is always in control. Listen to this other nation, Cyrus. He said, all the kingdoms of the earth have Yahweh. That's what he said. Of heaven, only one God. He wasn't talking about his gods. He said, Yahweh, the king of heaven, hath given me, and he hath charged me. So the Most High spoke to Cyrus. He gave Cyrus that order to do what he did, to allow Israel to build the temple. That's why when you read scriptures, the Most High called Cyrus my shepherd, my anointed, and he said, who called a righteous man from the east? Yeah. Because Cyrus allowed Israel to build the Most High's house after the Babylonian captivity. Go ahead, read.
Who is there among you of all his people? The Most High, his power be with him, and let him go up.
So this is the rebuilding of the second temple after the Babylonian captivity. Now let's go to Haggai. You know, we never go into Haggai, do we? You ever hear a brother in the streets teaching, "Give me the book of Haggai"? No, you ain't never heard that, have you? Brother probably couldn't even find that. Haggai, you got to go to the contents. Let's go to Haggai, the second chapter. Let's go all the way to the 9th verse, from 1 to 9.
1 to 9.
Yeah.
Haggai chapter 2, verse 1. In the 7th month, in the 21st day of the month, came the word of the Most High by the prophet Haggai, saying, Speak now to Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Joshua, the son of Josedek, the high priest, and to the residue of the people, saying, Who is left among you that saw this house in her first glory? And how did
see what he asked him? He said, who is left among you that saw this house in her first glory? Go ahead.
And how do ye see it now?
And he said, now how do you see it now? Right, he talking about the second temple, right? He said, who is among you that saw this house in its first glory? Okay. Now, how do you see it now? Go ahead.
Is it not in your eyes in comparison of it as nothing?
And he said, is it not in your eyes in comparison of it as nothing? Because someone was looking at, okay, the second temple is not as great as the first temple. But we got to look at what Haggai is saying here. He said in glory. He wasn't saying the outward appearance of it, or how big or how great. He was speaking about the glory of it. See, he went spiritual on it. See, the people was looking at maybe how great it was, the outward appearance, and how it was and how it was made, or so forth. You know, they was looking at the outer part. But Haggai is asking a spiritual question. He's speaking about the glory of it. We understand? Okay, continue.
Verse 4. Yet now be strong, O Zerubbabel, saith the Most High.
So now he's telling, look, Zerubbabel, be strong, my brother. Okay, be strong, because the Most High already talked to me about this thing. Be strong. Read on.
And be strong, O Joshua, son of Josedek, the high priest. And be strong, all ye people of the land, saith the Most High, and work, for I am with you, saith the Most High, power of hosts.
Now the reason he's telling them this, because he's talking on a spiritual level. Because what he's going to come in with, see, you're going to find out that Yahushua was there all along. Okay, so that's why he said spiritually, be strong. You know, don't worry about this other physical stuff in your mind. Be strong. Okay, because when this Mashiach steps on the scene, okay, he's the man. The Most High sent him. And they would have to be strong to understand that, or to go back into the prophets and understand this. A lot of them didn't. A lot of the leaders didn't. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 5. According to the word that I covenanted with you when ye came out of Egypt, so my spirit remaineth among you. Fear ye not.
Okay, go ahead.
For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land.
Right, go ahead.
And I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come, and I will fill this house with glory, saith the Most High, power of hosts.
Most High said, once again, I'm going to fill this house with glory. Okay? It's talking about the second temple, then it's going into the future as well. Okay, read on. The glory of the second temple shall be greater than the glory of the first temple. Keep that in mind. Read on.
Saith the Most High of hosts. And in this place will I give peace, saith the Most High of hosts.
Now let's go to John 1:14. And try to get a little bit what this is talking about. Let's go to John 1:14.
John chapter 1 verse 14. And the word waxed made flesh.
And the word was made flesh.
And the word is first John chapter 1 verse 14. And the word was made flesh and dwelt among us.
Now, who was the word? He was made flesh and he dwelt where? Read on.
And we beheld his glory.
They beheld his what? Glory. His glory. Read on.
The glory as of the only begotten of the Father.
What?
Full of grace and truth.
And truth. So Yahushua was the fulfillment of that glory. That's why the prophet said that the second temple in glory would be greater than the first. Now the first temple, you know, the Most High, his glory was present and then he left. But Yahushua, it tell you that who is the image of the invisible God? Yahushua is. So when Yahushua came in the flesh as a representation of God, of the Most High, he walked through the temple. He was walking amongst them in the body, in flesh, amongst the people. You curing them, miracles and everything. He taught in the temple. And we're going to read where he went in and he actually cleansed the temple. He got all the people that sold doves, all the money changers, got rid of them. So he was that glory made just like them. He was that glory. He was that image. Okay, that's why the prophet said that the glory of the second temple would be greater than the first, because that glory was there with you. But guess what? They rejected that. They rejected their glory too, right? So guess what happened to the second temple though? It was destroyed too. See there? So you don't get away with anything, man. So when that glory left, when Yahushua, you know, was crucified, when the glory left, they delivered him up. When that glory left, what happened? Romans came through. Yep. Tore up the temple, and people went back into captivity. See? So that's what Haggai, the prophet, was speaking about. He said the latter, the glory of it, not the outward. And we know the second temple, the Herod added parts and stuff to it. But Yahushua was the glory. Okay, what verse you leave off at?
That was 14.
14. Okay, that's all I asked for, right? Let's go to Luke, the 2nd chapter, and 22, and we're going to get ready to wrap things up. And I'll get to the questions that I asked y'all to write down, if you still have them. Luke, the 2nd chapter.
Verse 22.
And the 22nd verse, and the 46th verse.
Luke chapter 2 verse 22. And when the days of her purification according to the law of Moses were accomplished, they brought him to Jerusalem to present him to the Most High. As
Right. So they talking about who? Yahushua. They brought him to where?
To Jerusalem. To
Okay,
present him to the Most
to
High.
the temple. To present him to who? To the Most High. Read the 46th verse.
Verse 46. And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions.
Okay, both hearing them and asking them questions. Now where was Yahushua? In the temple. Okay, let's go to Luke 19, 36 to 38.
Luke 19, verse 36. And as he went, they spread their clothes in the way.
In the way. Go ahead.
And when he was come nigh, even now at the descent of the Mount of Olives, the whole multitude of the disciples began to rejoice and praise the Most High.
Right. It said that the disciples began to rejoice and praise the Most High with a loud voice. Now, what was they saying? Go ahead.
For all the mighty works that they had seen.
Go ahead. Read
saying,
on.
Blessed be the King that cometh in the name of Yahweh.
It said, blessed be the King that cometh in the name of Yahweh. And what else?
Peace in heaven.
Peace in heaven. Go ahead.
And glory in the
And
highest.
glory in the highest. Yahweh was that glory in that second temple. The latter was greater in glory than the former. Y'all got me on that? Y'all understand it, right? Okay. Go ahead and read.
And some of the Pharisees from among the multitude said unto him, Master, rebuke thy disciples. And he answered and said unto them, I tell you that if these should hold their peace, the stones would immediately cry out.
Okay. Now let's move from there. Let's go to Matthew 21, 12 to 17. We're going to get ready to wrap it up. Matthew 21, 12th verse to the 17th.
Matthew chapter 21, verse 12. And Yahushua went into the temple of the Most High, and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple.
Yahushua did what? Went in the temple and cast out all of them that sold and bought in the temple. Read on.
And overthrew the tables of the money changers.
Ain't that something, man? Gangster. Go ahead.
And the seats of them that sold
And
doves.
I mean, a righteous type.
Good,
I don't want to
good.
just throw that at you. Yeah, right, done righteously.
Good.
Go ahead.
And the seats of them that sold doves.
Right, go ahead.
And said unto them, It is written, My house shall be called the house of prayer.
My house shall be called the house of prayer. But what?
But ye have made it a den of
The
thieves.
den of thieves. Go ahead and read.
And then the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them.
And he healed them. See what that glory is doing? Healing, cleanse. Now, when he cleansed the temple, he got all the money changers, everybody that was selling in there. So he whipped them and got them up out of there. So he cleansed that. So they weren't coming back through there. So because Yahushua was walking, he walked through the temple courts, teaching. You understand? Yeah. Go ahead.
And when the chief priests and the scribes saw the wonderful things that he did, and the children
What
crying.
verse is that?
Verse 15.
Go ahead.
And the children crying in the temple.
Start it over again.
Verse 15. And when the chief priests and the scribes saw the wonderful things
They saw what? The wonderful things. Say no wicked things. They saw the wonder for things. You know, he brought the peace. The wonderful things that he was doing. Read on.
that he did, and the children crying in the temple, saying, Hosanna to the Son of David. They were sore displeased.
They got jealous because everybody was praising the Mashiach. See, you had a lot of people that followed him, that believed, and you had a lot didn't. You understand? Read on.
Verse 16. And said unto him, Hearest thou what these say? And Yahushua saith unto them, Yea, have ye never read, out of the mouth of babes and suckling thou hast perfected praise? And he left them and went out of the city into Bethany, and he lodged there.
Okay. Now, with that, my brothers and sisters, that's the end of the class. I hope y'all got something out of it.